welcome back. I'm Raviepops and this is week 11 of my STEPS programme update and what I'm being up to. So this week the lesson was managing problems. Now the next few steps I think are going to be the most challenging for me personally because it is all about self-care and looking after yourself and making sure you get sleep and all that good stuff. But I wanted to go through a few things because some of this is actually really good. Now, one of the key things it says about the managing problems is, I'll just read out this little section and then I'll talk through what I think it means and go from there. Okay, and then I can tell you what I took from the lesson and all that good stuff. So, managing problem skills. When BPD, EID is causing strong emotion, it can be very difficult to deal with problems and make helpful decisions. The most important advice for managing problems during an episode is make no major decisions during an emotional intensity episode. The decisions you make when your emotional intensity is at a 4 or a 5, and that's referring to the POTS levels, are usually not the choices you would make when your intensity level is a lot lower. The choices you make during this time of high emotional intensity often make the original problem worse or create new problems. And then it goes on to like managing the problem. But I think that is probably one of the best bits of advice is like when you're having, it's not easy, it's really not easy, and I'll give you a great example of how it's not easy in a second, but getting that skill of going, I'm not reacting right now, I need to take myself out of the situation, I need to have 5 minutes, I need to calm myself before talking and before reacting, because that was one of my biggest flaws. Like throughout my childhood I was verbally vicious. I would store up information about people without realising it. It was subconscious, and if they hurt me even a little bit I would be tearing at those information I knew was going to hurt them, and that's not a place I wanted to be at, and that's not a person I want to be. So getting that skill down to take a break and step back before reacting is the hardest skill I think is for me is gonna be. But I am actually dead proud of myself. I actually managed an episode really well the other day, and I am honestly, I can't say enough. Bless me. I can't say enough of how I was impressed with myself, and that's not easy for me to say because I don't really value myself very much. But I came home and I was over the moon. So the situation was, I was driving, and if you've been here for a long enough time you'll know driving is a giant trigger for me. I have got terrible road rage, but I manage it. And so what happened is someone cut me off in traffic, and then it left me in the middle of a junction, causing more traffic building up behind me because this bus pulled into the intersection as you were to turn. So that's the situation. Bus was blocking my lane to turn. The red light was in the bus lane, but he decided to come forward and block the entire junction, which made me, who was turning, block my lane of traffic, which made me feel very in the way, very like I was causing problems. People were beeping. I couldn't go anywhere because I couldn't move. And that was already stressful enough. What made it even worse was the bus driver opened his window, and because I was like, why would you pull forward? I was just like, why? And he opened his window and was like, simmer down, pet. And that got me from like a 2 to a 5 immediately. My instinct, my reaction, everything in my body was filling up with adrenaline. I was angry. I felt like I was being just discriminated against because I'm a woman driver. He wouldn't have said that to a man. And B, you know, he was in the wrong. He and all I did was like, I can't go anywhere. Like, how am I supposed to move? And everyone's beeping. What I wanted to do, what my urges were, and what I wrote down in my pot sheet, my urge was to get out the car, go to the bus, scream at him like he's just, you know, upset me and hurt my feelings, made me feel like a nuisance. I wanted to transfer that onto him and give a taste of his own medicine. What I did do is I recited in my brain as I'm at the wheel. I looked forward. I was like, don't give him eye contact because that's just going to make it worse. And I was holding onto my steering wheel and I was just like, get home, do my pot sheet. Get home, do my pot sheet. Get home, do my pot sheet. And that honestly grounded me so much, knowing that I know it's only a bit of paper. But I feel like writing it down and getting all my anger out on the paper and getting everything that I want to say out on a sheet of paper helped me so much. And then my friend and me, we chatted a little bit about the situation, and he helped me like calm down and regulate a bit better after that. But that was a moment where I actually realised, and it was a switching point, that I actually have been doing the work and it is working. Because 3 or 4 months ago, I'd have got out of my car, I'd have screamed, I'd have been shouting in the middle of the street. Like, I'm not going to lie, I would have. But being able to hold on to that little bit of sanity, and I mean, it was difficult, I'm not saying it was easy, it was horrendously hard. Like, everything in my body wanted to just leap out and go crazy. But holding on to that little bit of sanity, that little bit of get home, do a pot sheet, get home, do a pot sheet, get home, get home, really helped me stay focused and not let my emotions whirlwind me. You know, it's that talk about building your defences as the hurricane's coming towards you. You can't really run away from the hurricane, which is your emotions. You can't, if you hide from them, they're going to engulf you, you know. So you need to be prepared. You need to batten down your hatches, nail in some hammers on the door, get a bunker ready, get your food, get your resources in that bunker, and you are good. You can sit out that storm. And that's how I felt the other day, and that was a turning point for me, and I was so proud of myself for it. The other part of the programme this week, which I thought was really good, was focusing on managing actions. So brainstorm, this is what it says here, brainstorm problem solving. No matter how ridiculous they may appear at first, do not judge the solutions at this point. The more you can come up with, the better to-do list of advantages and disadvantages. So you write down a problem that you have. So on my paper, for me personally, now trigger warning, trigger warning, I'm going to be talking about an eating disorder. So, you know, if you're not comfortable with that, leave now. But this is my journey, and this is what I've put down because this is a problem that I'm struggling with. I put eating down as a now the advantages is health, you know, life, happiness, feeling better, more energized. The disadvantages is that I feel sick at the moment when I eat, and I know that when I became ill, and last year when I lost all of the major weight, I'm still slowly trying to gain it back, but I have started to see food and I'm like, I don't want to eat this anymore. It makes me feel nauseous just looking at it, and that's not a good way. And I'm really worried that I'm going to end up going down a slippery slope of a food problem. So I put it on my sheet to work on and to give me information on how, like try to break it down into sections on how to not let that spiral into a problem that it could become later on. So once you've got your problem, and then you've got your advantages to the problem and your disadvantages. Now these could be any problems. So some of the other things that came up was problems to, like, if you're not going out enough and you want to make more of a change and more of an effort to go out and meet new people, what sort of things could you do? You could look up new stuff online, you know what I mean? You could, and that would just take, the disadvantages would be time, the advantages, you might find something new that you haven't thought you would be into, but you're into it. There is obviously Groupon things that you can get which are cheap, and there's normally random things on Groupon. You know, these are just different situations and problems that you can, you know, flip over and work through. And then the next part, after you've done your problem and you've done your advantages and your disadvantages for that problem that you're trying to solve, you then choose 3 of the above problems. So out of all of the list of problems that you have, you've written down, you choose 3 of them to focus on. Choose the 3 best solutions, write them down below, evaluate each plan and focus on them, and focus on the likely outcome of the situation. So like eating, if I push past the sickness I will feel better. I will, put on more weight. I will look better. I will feel happier in my skin, and I probably won't feel as nauseous and as tired and as sick and as lethargic as I do now. So that was my likely outcome to that solution. If I eat more, I'm gonna feel better. Likely outcome, And same as like if you want to go out and you're doing the Groupon thing, do it once a month. The likely outcome is you'll go out once a month. Do you know what I mean? And don't make the goals too out there. Like, try and focus it in. Try and narrow it down to like the easiest, simplest possibility. You know what I mean? Like, you want to go for a walk. Don't say I'm going to go for an hour walk. Say I'm going to go for 10 minutes and see how I feel. And then if you get to that 10-minute point and you're like, actually, I could go another 10, increase it gradually. Don't just go, I want to be a millionaire, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to marry a rich man. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't know. You can't guarantee that solution. You can't guarantee that. You want to put something down that you know the outcome. If you follow through with this plan, it will work. And then from that section, so after you've chosen your 3, you've wrote down your likely outcome, you then go from the 3 plans listed, describe what you believe is the best way to reach your desired solution. And then, so you write down how you would do that, and then like an action plan. So like for me, it's eat little and often. So whether that's eating Jaffa cakes, or whether that's, having a jacket potato, a little tiny jacket potato, little and often, to try and build up that. I am taking my shakes as well, so I'm slowly trying to increase my food intake without causing myself to physically be sick, which is the problem that I'm having at the moment. I eat, I be sick. So having little things at a time and picking at little things and always having something that I can nibble on, that's how I'm going to action my plan. And the same goes for any of your plans. And then once you've carried out your plan, once you've carried out like your description of how you're going to reach the desired outcome, you then set a reminder on the next page of how you will know that you've done this plan. So how will you recognise that you have actually took those steps and done that? So for me, it will be weight. I will put on weight. If I'm eating little and often, I should increase my weight, and that is a good thing. And again, like how I will know that is weight increase. And if I'm going out once a month, then I will go out, I'll have pictures, I will have evidence to show that I've actually took these steps and actually working through my action plan. And I think that's great, and I think you could do that for absolutely anything, any problem, and break it down into that that system. Problem, what's good about it, what's the disadvantages of this problem, you know what I mean? Then how do you solve it? What do you want to do? How are you going to get to that point of being an advantage? And then you go from there. You go, right, okay, how can I action this? How can I get this? What can I set my reminders of? What can I do within my bubble that will let me achieve what I'm trying to achieve here? And I think that's a great skill to have, and I think it's actually the best way to start the managing problems, because the next couple of steps are like, there's going to be a lot of managing problems, sleep and behaviours, and try to address those inner thoughts. But the biggest takeaway from this, I cannot recommend enough, is don't make any decisions when you're in a high intensity emotional moment. Take a break, take a step back, try and hold your tongue. Take yourself off to your quiet room, use your fidget toys, use distraction techniques, knit, crochet, play games, do something that you can just get immersed in that will take you away from that emotion. Batten down your hatches, know that it's coming, know the triggers that it's coming towards you, that the emotions are going to hit, and be ready for them to stand your ground and be like, not today. I've got my windows all boarded up. No hurricane's going to knock my house down. It's like a fortress. And that's where we're trying to get to. And honestly, seeing it in practice and seeing that work this week, and knowing that I have it in me to continue to do the work and continue to get better and do better, honestly, I can't say enough of how much I am so over the moon that it is that I thought I was not taking it in very good, or I thought I was stumbling over some of the coursework and stuff like that. But honestly, seeing it in action this week and seeing my behaviour go from horrible to actually calm and knowing that I can do it, it's amazing. And I'm so proud of myself for sticking with it for 11 weeks, even though I've been feeling like garbage a couple of weeks. But I honestly, I can see the changes coming, I can see it working, and the advice that they're giving you in this can contribute to a lot of people, like not just people with BPD. Everyone could use this, you know what I mean? Anyone that's having an emotional moment can use these skills, and that's the best part about it. It's making everyone a better person, and everyone just take a moment to just think before reacting. And that's the main thing that I think a lot of us with BPD struggle with, is the taking that moment and taking that break. And it is hard, it is difficult, and honestly my whole body was shaking. I just wanted to just go crazy, but I didn't. And that's the proof of the pudding. That's the proof that it's working, and that's the proof that if you stick to it and you're doing it every week, and it's hard, it's difficult, it's tiring, but if you put in the work, the results are there. The results are there. And I cannot thank the people that run Steps enough. I cannot thank the group that I'm in. They are lovely people. I honestly, I couldn't have done it without any of them. It is a group effort, and I am so grateful that I'm now slowly but surely seeing the fruits of my labour, which is nice. But that's my update for this week. I will be doing a little bit of crocheting on the channel for the charity later on in the week, so stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions about this or want to know any more, or I've made a meal out of explaining how it works, let me know down in the comments, because I'll always love to chit chat with everyone. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for staying for the long video. I might rant again, but have a lovely day, and I will see you all next time. Bye!